What's up, everybody? Welcome to Walking 90. I am not Yogi. He's out being a wholesome husband for his anniversary. So shouts to him. I don't do the fancy transitions. We're just going to go right into it. As always, with the homie, we got Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good.
And we got, now we've got another father. We got two fathers of the year on the pod tonight. Kyle, say what's up to the people.
Hello, and of course, this starts later because I was the one that had to be delayed because of kids' bedtimes not going as planned.
Oh, I stopped for tacos, so this was always going to be late past 9 o'clock.
Well, I figured quarter after would have been like okay. That's what I was
shooting for. I was shooting for quarter after, and I was like, yeah, well,
and that's it.
Oh well.
Not tonight.
And we're missing Chip. Chip's down, but it's okay. We'll hold it down for him. We'll still pick on Omaha on his behalf. No problem whatsoever.
And he is watching, so hello.
Yes. Hi, Chip. So let's break it down. Let's get into some of these games that it's been a while, it feels like, but it's only been 2 weeks. Maybe because we had so many interviews in between that it just felt like it's been forever. So let's start with the games from the 23rd.
I was going to say, there's been so many games, and there's been so many games and interviews, I feel like, that have been squeezed since we were last live that it almost feels like it's been like a month.
Yeah, truly.
All right. What game do we want to start with? There's been so many. Like, we can go back as far as we need to, really. Like, I'm out for it. Let's see. Did Omaha lose a couple games? Nah.
Omaha lost.
No, they
lost.
If
do they fans know that? We'll start with the heavy hitter, the Greenville Union game, which was 0-0. Not a lot happening there. We picked it to be our vibes, and that probably
not vibes.
It was probably more stressful than anything. No vibes, but nothing really special there. Brandon, you were at that game.
I was at that game. And
what was it like?
I mean, I had my kid with me, my son with me, so it was I don't remember too much of it. I watched it later. I thought it was good. I mean, I enjoyed the game. It was one of those games where the fact that it was a draw, I mean, it was disappointing for sure, right? But like it was a good enough game to where it was like, okay, I can accept the draw. You know what I mean? Omaha defended really, really well, as they have been, and also Nuhu came up with some incredible saves that game. So, I felt like I really felt like that was one of the best 0-0 draws I've seen this season. It was just really enjoyable to watch. So, yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it showcased again how tough Omaha is to break down, even after they're changing formation and stuff. But it also showed, like, I think one of their best shots was Isaac Bawa's shot across goal that narrowly went past the far post. Like, when your right back is taking your best shot of the game, like, I don't know how. I'm not sure we're clicking too well on the attacking front here. So, I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed it. But I definitely think Omaha is getting better and better. There's still a ways to go, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those. I would agree. It was more out of the 2-0 draws that Omaha had. This was more of at least it was entertaining to an extent. There was Nuhu with the fantastic save on Walker's free kick. You know, you had the late chance. I feel like there were late chances. It did feel like this was going to be one where I thought Greenville would maybe eke by just because it felt like they had a little bit more confidence. It seemed as though they were going with the plan a little bit better than Omaha. It feels like Omaha was trying to tweak things, and I'll mention it in the Mavs game. Felt like they were trying to come up with something different as the game went on because what they were initially trying to do wasn't working. And I think that was more to Greenville's credit. Like, okay, we're going to bunker now. We know what this team can do. I will say, like, Omaha's fullbacks were definitely needed to be on top of their game, and I think they showed that. So I think for Omaha, it was one of those, like, they'll look back and, you know, if they don't get a home playoff game or miss a playoff or whatever by 2 points, I don't think they'll look at this game as like the missed opportunity. But I think this is one where it kind of shows like, all right, Omaha they really need to get that home playoff game because, yes, they can go into Greenville and win, but that is going to be a lot tougher of an assignment later on in the season when Greenville's going to have it together. And, and you're not going to have that home field advantage that Omaha has. You're going to go into, traveling territory. And I think for them, it's just more, and we'll talk about more later. It just feels as though I don't know where the goal is going to come from anymore for Omaha. And it was something that I noticed in Greenville. And then it was very clear in Madison, like, where are the goals coming? Because it seemed like they had, like, Meza was that guy and Kamatani was that guy early on. And then Brito and Skirisi were kind of getting there. And now it's just kind of like unless you're going to get a gifted back pass from your former player, I don't know who's scoring the goals.
Oh.
No, for sure.
Yeah, no, it was, definitely out of the games. I mean, granted, there were not that many vibe games that were there this weekend, so it's not like we made a bad pick. I think 10 out of 10, we would have done it again. If you do the poll and you look at the matchups, like, yes, Greenville, Omaha is always going to be that match you're going to want to watch because of the two teams and the history and how, when they're at their best, it is a very interesting and entertaining matchup.
Right. And I think that's the key to that. The 0-0 wasn't because they were bad. It was because they were both really good. And I thought it was a great game. So
does the 0-0 favor Greenville or Omaha more?
I mean, at Greenville's spot, you want to constantly be getting those 3 points. So any opportunity to gain some ground over the rest of the table. Because, I mean, what Madison right now, I'm trying to remember, Madison has 2 games in hand on Greenville, right?
Yep.
And so right now, if they win their next 2 games, that
would put them second.
Okay, second. It wouldn't tie them up.
If Omaha win their next 3 games, they would be tied for first with Greenville, but Greenville would have the tiebreaker.
Right.
So there's still something there for Omaha, but no, I honestly think Omaha getting a draw was better for them because, like I mentioned, going into Greenville is tough. So when you can go in there and get any points, you take it. Obviously, it's not the best outlook, and when you add up all these draws, it sucks. But going into Greenville is always tough. You take the point that you can at least take a point and walk out of that and feel like, okay, that is a little bit better for Omaha in just like that particular lens.
For sure. I mean, this is the toughest little set of the games they'll have for a while, I think. So, like, the fact that they haven't lost, necessarily, they haven't lost a game yet. I think that's pretty fantastic. I mean, even though, they haven't been super exciting on the attacking end. So I definitely agree. Benefit to Omaha.
All right, so next game, Chatta versus NoCo, which ended 0-0, which I'm surprised by because I didn't think that NoCo could hold someone scoreless. Just say,
if it wasn't for that keeper, it would have been scoreless. That backup keeper had the game of their life.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason why Chattanooga did not get a goal. They had so many chances. It should have been clear. And had it not been for Falck, I would have had Johan Penaranda be the player of the week by far.
Looking at the stats, it's 15 shots, 7 on target for Chatta. I mean, NoCo also had their chances, 10 shots, 1 on target, but still they were taking their chances too, but it highly favored Chattanooga in every stat possible, and yet it ends 0-0. Who is this better for one, Chatter or NoCo?
Definitely NoCo.
NoCo for sure. But
no doubt. The fact that they can get a clean sheet at all, that's beautiful. It's a great day.
Like I said, the fact that despite all the chances that Chatta had, and they probably should have had a goal, and you walk away with a clean sheet, even if it's a draw, no, NoCo should be okay with it because the last time NoCo went to Chattanooga, they got the doors blown off of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
only 6 yellow cards though. I was slightly surprised. I thought it'd be a little bit more chaotic.
That's not chaotic enough for you?
Not enough.
Not
Not
with
enough.
not with these
Look
two
at that.
teams.
Look at that patch that's coming
Mhm.
off. Take that shit off. It's an old jersey. All right. There's not much left there for that, so fuck it.
I was gonna say, I really feel like that one's the prime example of Chada should have won and didn't.
Next game up is South Georgia 2, NCFC 1. All right. This was some
I'll let you
bullshit.
have the floor on this
Yeah,
one.
go ahead.
This was some bullshit. Several reasons why. Reffing being the main one. It's not like this is a bad team. NCFC has the people in place to be able to fucking do something. And it's just like I will give it 70% defense, 30% reffing. We just cut off in weird times that we just shouldn't. And I'm like, but why? Why are we doing this? What are we doing? To score and then give up a goal 2 minutes later is just you turning your brain off and going, yep, this is a cool point. Let's just head on out of here. Wait, there's still 10 plus minutes left, guys. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep playing. They just don't. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks.
Mhm.
And it's not even like we were lacking chances at the end. Literally, Shaq Adams came on and could have scored a fucking worldie at the back post. We had two balls get saved off that back post that were like for sure. And they've got to figure it out on defense. Like those mental moments of just like collapsing and then just like turning it off. It's not even like it's one player or two player. It's like the whole thing just kind of like stops for like 4 seconds, and in that 4 seconds, bam, they're attacking you, and it's a goal because we're leaving a Holiday and Pulisic out to dry. And that sequence of like 79 and 81 where we scored and then we gave up a goal just that quick, it's terrible. But also there are some goals that should not have been goals that were called goals, and you know what? That's just another pod for another day.
I was gonna say, watching the highlights of this match, it was very much I could definitely feel like Tormenta may have gotten away with it, but at the same time, it's not like North Carolina was doing themselves any favors as well.
Yeah.
Like it felt as though they looked too much for McLaughlin to do something, and it didn't. And it wasn't until they made the initial subs around, I think it was like the 60th minute, where I was like, okay, maybe now they're going to actually like try and do something. Maybe they're going to get the midfield more involved. Maybe they're going to try and go with a different plan. But it did kind of just feel like they weren't doing enough to try and challenge Tormenta either. It kind of felt like not passive, but it felt more overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the tough part about it. I think having the couple cards definitely made, like, especially the early yellow to Gustavo, and I feel as though like that was sitting in their mind as well. Like, okay, we cannot afford another one of our defenders to get another card because we already have two, and it's not even the 50th minute. And it's like that. I feel like that was in their head as well.
Yeah, the cards were just outrageous as well. Like,
right.
Some of it was just like players just not understanding, and some of it was just bullshit. But like, it's about like getting into that mental preparedness of like, hey, you've got to slow down, you've got to stop talking, you've got to like walk away. And it's a young team. Like, we've seen that it's a young team. Like, that just comes from experience. Like, Cervania over the last couple of games has not been understanding. Like, you gotta walk away, and he gets those stupid yellows. Like, it's like, we don't need that. We've got to be able to like cut that off. But he's a good player. He's very good at, like, I want him on the field every time we play, but not if it comes at the expense of there's always one reckless yellow somewhere on the field at all times, and now we're one stupid tackle or one pissed off player away from being down 10 men for like a whole game. So,
yeah, I agree. I think I'd say 90% of North Carolina's issue right now is mentality, is staying switched on, not not being overreacting, that kind of thing. And I mean, we'll talk about that other game in a minute. The one from, was it yesterday? I don't remember when it was anymore.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Same exact thing. Yeah, last night. Same exact thing. I think, you can look at that game and see how, they had that in the bag and just mental switches. I think that's the big issue right now. And with a young team, obviously that's going to happen, but you got to get that under control, stay locked in and ready to go.
Yeah. No, I do think this is the challenge with North. Obviously, they've added more experienced players, but it still is a relatively young team. So even though they have players that have League One experience, they're still newer to just professional soccer in general. So I think with a team like Tormenta, which they're still kind of young, but at the same time, they've had guys that have been around this a little bit more, whether it's from Tormenta 2 or just other teams, or in the case of Sterling, like they've been doing it over in Europe. Like they just seem to have a little bit more composure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was kind of the main difference, was the composure that Tormenta had was just there, while North Carolina, I think they had it and then they lost it and it took them too long. And as soon as they get the goal, the equalizer, you think maybe they'll get it back. It was gone in an instant.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so moving over to a truly chaotic game for only because it has Charlotte in it. Charlotte 3, Tucson 2.
The game that ended past midnight.
What is this? What is this team? No one can explain it to me. What is this team?
Past midnight. I just want to emphasize that the game already started late because it's in Tucson, right. And then we have the delay with the weather, and I think by the time they actually re-kicked off, it was close to midnight Central Time. It was late. I was not going to stay up. I was like, okay, at some point I just have to call it, because
I'm pretty sure the goal was scored like 1:50 local time for Charlotte, 1:50 a.m. local time.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's stupid. No.
I'm surprised because I remember when Omaha and Madison had their game last year and there was like a storm and I was like, okay, it just kept getting delayed. And then they're like, all right, screw it. We're going to cancel it and we're going to just reschedule it for another day. Like I thought that was going to happen in this one. It just never did. And it's like, okay, we can play a little later. I was like, what?
Hold on. What?
I didn't know that you could do that.
I love their tweet. They were like, someone said, why don't you just cancel it and reschedule it for another day? And they just replied, we'd have to do it over again. We'd have to play the whole thing over again. I was like, what? Yeah. that was funny.
I said this was going to be the chaos game of the week. It delivered on that. 4 goals in the first half. Neither of these two teams, and I feel like this is a perfect encapsulation of Tucson. It's just like, you find ways to either win games late or lose games late. Mm-hmm. They always seem to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
I thought they looked so good in that first half. Like it was some of the best soccer they played. I think, obviously, you don't want to concede 2 goals. But like as far as on the attack goes, I mean, they looked better. I mean, they looked pretty good. And they looked like some of the movements that they've probably been looking for all season long were there finally, and things were clicking, and then, everything falls apart. And also, whatever.
Every statistic should tell you, okay, Tucson should have at least walked away with the draw. It's like, nope.
It never is. I don't get it.
And this is just, I feel like how last year Chattanooga was the team that was just like, how do they keep pulling out these wins? And Charlotte is now that version of it. Is like, there is no logistical reason why they keep doing this.
Yeah.
It hasn't added up. The math isn't mathing. And yet, here they are. Still alive.
Somehow. As we'll get to later in the show, you'll see. I think that runs out soon. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. there's something about this team that I just can't figure out. And holy shit, we'll see what this gets to.
They can't defend.
Right? That's my thing. Is everyone knows they can't defend.
But the problem is they haven't needed to. They still win.
But eventually, you're gonna have to like do something other than try like score, and eventually they're just gonna be like put two people on Mbuyu and let someone else score, and then they're gonna be like, oh, but we haven't had to do that all year, and then it's just gonna be a hot fucking mess. And then it's like, oh, okay. I don't know how no other team has figured that out yet, but here we are. Okay, fine. Whatever.
It's just staggering.
It makes no sense.
Because I feel like, has Charlotte like convincingly won a game this year?
I'm trying to look.
Than the Madison shit show, like the Madison, and even that one was like it could have been dicey at halftime, and then they turned it around. But I feel like Charlotte has not had this was a very clear Charlotte was the better team win.
Madison's the only one that I can think of.
And again, that one it took until like the 60th minute when it got to like 5-2 or something.
That was you know what? All right.
That was like the craziest week in USL League One though. So like I don't even know if we can use that as like actual regular season. That was just like a weird blip, like a weird like preseason in the middle of the season blip. Had to be like there's like 30 goals that week or something crazy.
All right. Yeah. So the craziest game out of all of the games from that weekend, somehow we had two chaos games. This one, I think, more chaotic than the other. Central Valley Fuego 3, Richmond Kickers 1. Kickers finished the game with 2 players out. So 9 players on the field. And Victor, is his name Falck?
Mm-hmm.
Falck with a brace. Yep. Damn, son. Like, I don't even know.
Against his old team.
Yeah, he turned it on for his old team.
First of all, the double yellow was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I literally just watched the highlights and I don't even like. Yes, there are 2 yellows, but I don't think you give a yellow to the first one. You give it to the one that got him the double yellow in the red. Just because it was like one of the first fouls of the game. Like, yeah, you want to control it, but that just changed everything.
That was very much like the opposite of how most of the games have felt being officiated this season.
Right.
It was very like hard line out of nowhere.
It was just, I just don't understand. Like, yes, it wasn't the best situation, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, you can't just get sent off right after. It's like the yellow card, the goal, another yellow card. It's like, Steven, you what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, he had early reservations. I don't know. Maybe he was on TikTok. Right. He saw a restaurant that he was like, you know what? I'm in the area. I'm going to go try it.
California's got a lot of good places.
Right.
No, I'm probably not going to be back in Cali for a while. Like,
might as well.
It was just such a stupid foul.
Like, he said he had things to do. So,
yeah. It's just one of those, like, bro, you just got to let that man run by you. You can't do that kind of foul.
Whatever. He was just like, he's like, I got it. I got you.
I mean, this guy's got Akira behind him. Like, for crying out loud, like, trust the man. Like, sometimes you just gotta let it go. Trust Akira. Like, great. But it's all good. He'll be back.
He'll be all right. It'll be okay. And then, I mean, the 2 goals after the yellow card were just, there was no one left for Richmond to like work for, so that they were just getting beat in the box. But that second red card, which was straight red, was dumb. He did.
Again, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Why would you eat? You got beat. Let it go. Why would you go in for that tackle studs up? Like, it was late. It was high.
Yep.
I knew your brand of. I could tell you the color of your spikes on your cleats. That's how much of the boot you showed me. That's a red every day. What are you arguing for? That is a red every day of the week.
Well,
Twice on
like,
Sunday.
It doesn't help that you are already like, because Ani's a center back, and it's like, why are you even doing this run? Like, you have 10 men. Don't be. Who do you think?
Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero.
Oh.
That won't for you, fam. Don't do it.
You're not that guy.
You lost 2 out of your starting 4 back line in 48 minutes of a game.
There was no right side of the defense.
None. Not at all.
What are we doing? Kickers, there's so much hope for you. I want to see you succeed. And Yogi's not here to like defend his team or talk his
How
shit.
can you defend this?
Look, I don't know. And it's not even like you didn't get your shots off because you still took 14 shots. I mean, Central Valley took 20.
Which is
8
very
on target.
odd.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know what this was.
When they have 9 players, you take your shots.
Suddenly the chances start flowing, don't they?
A little bit.
When the right side of the defense no longer exists.
It's like, who the fuck do you? It was just a clusterfuck. I didn't know what to do about it. I was like, all right, I guess. Like, damn.
I like, for once the ref had it completely correct, and I don't know what I don't know what Darren could have said in the locker room other than, okay, did you get your shit out of the way now? Can we just cut that shit out in the future?
Please.
There's nothing really.
No, that's one of those games where you gotta hope you come back from it, right? Like, and it looks like they did. Sorry.
They did, but it was getting dicey.
They crawled back from it.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, they were getting kicked out of the bar, but one of their friends was able to like kind of talk the bouncer out of it. Like, that's where they're at.
Like, he's not gonna do any more shots. I swear. Like, it's just
We're
water
cutting
for
him
the
off.
rest of the night. And, like, he has to stay with us, and we're really enjoying it. How about I buy you a beer? We've all done that. We've all done that same song and dance. Come on.
That is Richmond. They were
Right.
getting ready. Like, the bouncer was about to be like, okay, you gotta go. The homies stepped up. They're like, we got that. They somehow smooth talked their way out of it, and now Richmond is very much on thin ice.
Oh, man.
I just don't understand that match. Like, I just remember looking and being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I didn't even watch the rest of the games that night. Like, I had to go back. I just was like, I got home from the Greenville game. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed tonight and not gonna watch any more games. And then I like looked at everything the next morning. I was like, what happened? What in the world? Like,
I was at the Burna Boy concert, and when that ended, I saw it. I was like, okay, this Greenville, Omaha, whatever. And then I saw Richmond score. I was like, what? And I didn't know about the cards. I just saw 3-1. I was like, what the fuck happened? And then I was saying at Jake's place, shout out Jake. And I was laying there and I saw what happened. I was like, I don't know if it's the edible still kicking in, but I'm gonna just go to bed. I'm gonna go to sleep. This ain't adding up.
it's getting real.
And so we'll move on from the weekend and we'll come into Tuesday when Forward and Union Omaha played to a thrilling 0-0 draw. That's about all I got for you. That's the amount of excitement you get from me today, okay?
Thrilling is being generous.
Yeah.
The better game was afterwards. So
Yes. No, 100%. The Special Olympics unified match was so much better.
let's talk about that one because this one was shit. Like,
Omaha's unified team had plenty of chances. Madison's keeper was making saves left and right. it was like Madison could have gotten a couple goals late in the first half. First half was very entertaining, despite that being also 0-0. And then the second half came, and there was just chaos in the box, and unfortunately, just like ricocheted off a Madison defender into an own goal. So that was unfortunate.
Oh, I know what those are like.
Yeah, it was, and like this was happening right in front of me. I was just like, you kind of want to hope that like if they're trying to clear it, they're trying to get out of it, and it didn't work. It is what it is. The second goal, no, that shit was a rocket. It was from like 30, so it was outside the box. It just went, and I was like, my God, I can't even be mad. Like the keeper could not do shit on that. So shout out the second goal for Omaha because that was a rocket. It was. I don't think anyone expected them to shoot it, let alone, and it wasn't going on target. It seemed like it was gonna maybe like go just wide, and then it just was able to creep in and get it there. I was like, damn, yeah. Unfortunately, Madison lost that one, but I can't be mad at that second goal for Omaha because that was fucking impressive. Yeah, much better than the first game, than the actual than the League One match.
Yeah.
No, we can just leave it at that.
I'm good with that. Yeah. And then there was another game. 3-2, Richmond kicked NCFC 2.
I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to get ready for today and talk about that panic button. Richmond. How's it going?
To be fair, we scored more goals, okay? We scored more goals.
Yes, the classic we scored more goals.
That's the only way you can salvage that, I guess.
Yep.
No, I was ready. I was like, Matt was getting pretty cocky at the midseason show. Like, he was feeling himself. And then here they are, looking rough.
Almost 2 games in a row.
Almost 2 games where they're losing, and especially playing in NCFC. I was like, yep, they can't seem to break that curse. It's happening again. And then Terzaghi equalized. I was like, okay, whatever.
I was like, literally Terzaghi equalized, and I'm like, it's always fucking Terzaghi, always. And because I had a new person with me that day. Shout out to Tay because she joined the Deadwells media team, and she was shooting for the first time for both teams, and like I was just standing beside her, and I was like, always fucking him, always. And I was just not happy. All I could do was laugh, and I was like, this is. He always finds a fucking way. I don't know how this man does it. He's like 60 years old, but yet somehow he's still fucking nailing in bangers off his fucking head, and like
that whole goal, you can't even. That was just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
like you can't even be mad about it. Like you're saying, you're laughing. You can't be mad about that goal.
No, I can't. Like, and if it ended there, I would have been like, you know what?
Now the third one.
The third one, I just was like, you know what? Take this off, put this down. I'm gonna just go home. I'm gonna go home like my defenders went home in the 91st minute. I'm gonna go home. We all got a head start on the non-existent traffic because we were rain delayed for like 2 hours.
I think my favorite is just
he is a league legend, and I fucking hate it. He is a league legend. I hate it so much.
Just the last 20-ish minutes was just like, okay, you get the yellow card, you get a goal, you get another Richmond yellow card. I'm like, Richmond, you're gonna really fucking do this again, aren't you? And then North Carolina got a yellow card. I was like, okay, whatever. And then Terzaghi was like, all right, a draw. For Richmond, a draw. You take a draw. You gotta take a draw.
A draw is a win. A draw is a win for Richmond in that moment because you know what? They came. It was looking like it was about to be the curse again. Max put in a really good goal. I think it was the rebound off of Akira. It was hilarious. But shit. That goal in the 95th. That just like I was like, wow, I didn't know that soccer could hurt this much. And I was like, you know what? I'm lying to myself. I knew soccer could hurt this much. I just didn't want it to hurt this much today.
Right.
So,
Here it is.
so that's where I am right now. I am love my boys. I'm a dead well till I die. But damn, man, it's like just give me a break.
It really just. It didn't. Like I said, I had the death. Like I had it ready. I had the RIP. I had the panic button. I was set. I was gonna just put out tweets, and Yogi was gonna be pissed off about it. And
well, what's he gonna do? It's his anniversary. He couldn't do anything.
Right.
He was too busy.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was just gonna have to sit there mad. He was just gonna have to sit there be mad because he can't go and tweet anything at me. He was gonna I was thinking this is my chance.
Dang it!
And
he was changing the password tomorrow.
And it's just annoying because it was like 10 seconds. Like your North Carolina's 10 seconds away from like being set, and then just the ricochet.
God, oh my gosh, that blew me away. That just that ricochet. I was like, I knew in that moment. I was like, oh, that's a goal. That's a goal for Richmond. No matter what happens next, that's a goal for Richmond. Sure enough.
I don't know what North Carolina can do to rebound from that because that's just tough.
Look, my boy.
That's when you say the game's cheating.
Right. Game's haunted, okay? Game's haunted.
The game was cheating. You're throwing it away. You're returning it to the store. Like, nope, this game is rigged.
I need a new one.
Just fucking A. All right. Let's not make Ebony sad more.
Fair.
All right. We were talking about the panic button, so let's keep getting into it. It's panic button time. We got who is safe, who we slotting the button to, and who should already be pushing it. So let's start with the highest of the high. Who is safe? Who doesn't need one? Who is riding high right now? Who is just like, you know what? I'm good. We can coast to the playoffs. We just gonna keep making our money moves. Who we got?
I mean, obviously Greenville.
Yeah.
Like, if there's any team that it should be good, Greenville should not know there is a button that exists.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, we don't have a button. That's not a thing.
Like, you are 10 points clear of the playoffs. You are 8 points clear of a first round bye. Even if Ford Madison win their 2 games at hand, then you're 2 points clear. Like, or 4 points clear of Richmond. Like, you're good. Like, right now, vibes are good in Greenville. No panic button for them.
Nope. They are very good. Just speaking from experience.
Like, it really does sense something that you can blow like a 4-0 lead and everyone's just like, yeah, you're okay.
Yeah. That was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's fun. I mean, whatever. Obviously, you don't want to do that again, but bro, that was a fun game to watch.
Right. Don't do it again. But at least if you're gonna do it, now is the time.
Like, hey, I was entertained.
Oh, I was entertained. Don't worry. Everyone was entertained. It's just.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You do it.
I definitely think Madison. I'm gonna say it for you, Kyle, because I wouldn't say Greenville. I'm not gonna force you to say Madison, but I think Madison is like they're safe. They're coasting.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think at least playoffs and potentially home game. Yeah, I feel good about that. Now we'll see how August goes because it's very road heavy. And if Madison can still chip away some points on the road, then I'll feel really good. But right now, yeah, I don't think there needs to be a panic button in Breeze Stevens Field.
Another team who is safe, Tormenta. They're coming in hot, and they're riding that defense wins championships train all the way into a playoff. So I don't think they need a panic button. I think they're riding good right now.
It was looking dicey for a bit.
It was.
So weird, man. I don't understand it.
Like May was not good to them. May was definitely like they get the doors blown off of them by Fuego. They lost to Tucson at home. They draw to Richmond. They drew to they kept racking up draws. It was not looking good in May. And then it worked out.
God grief.
Now this is where we all kind of like shook it up a little bit. Where are you putting Richmond? I know where I'm putting Richmond. I'm slotting them a button. I'm still slotting them a button. Like, I'm not telling you to push it, but I just want you to hold on to this for a little bit of love and tenderness, okay? Just keep it close. Like, keep it in arm's reach. Like, don't put it, like, right next to the mouse, but, like, you know, that candle that you got sitting at the edge of your table, just put it right beside that. And then just, you know, in case. Just in case. You light a candle and then you hit the button. That's what that's there for. It's you reach out and touch it.
I don't think that, you know, I'm starting, like, once they started the analogy of, like, you were about to get kicked out of the bar, I think I'm going to shift my opinion to, it's there. You know, I was going to say, I was 10 seconds away from, no, you got to hit that button. So it's there. It's, you know, on the coffee table. You know, it's next to your beer. When you grab your beer, you see that panic button. You're like, huh, okay. And then you just go back to drinking, and it's prominent. It's prominently on the table. It's right there in the middle of your coffee table.
I'm going to give them one more game just because, you know, like, they got the most goals scored in the league, you know, and they've only conceded 23. Obviously, they're in a bit of a blip. If the blip continues to be and becomes just like bad form, I mean, that's when you start asking questions. Right now, I mean, they're second with 33 goals. Like, nobody is even close to that. So I don't know. I think they should still feel pretty good. I do think the fact that, you know, you probably don't have Bolaños anymore and things like that definitely change the landscape a little bit, or at least don't have him for a little while. I don't know how long he's out. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say closer to the candle, not in the middle. I put that panic button close to the candle.
I'm just saying, so you got Noco and Tucson. If you can't get at least 4, if you can't beat Tucson, you cannot lose to Tucson. You're hitting that button. I don't care what you do against Noco. You lose to Tucson the following week at home. That button's getting pressed.
Yeah, okay. Especially considering what happened at the beginning of the season against Tucson. It's a different team now, I guess, but
still,
yeah.
At home. So, like, if it was at Tucson, okay, fine, whatever. But it's home.
Yeah,
you can't lose that game.
Okay. So we're sliding them a button, but we're not telling them to push it yet. Okay. Omaha.
I have it.
I think it's the same thing.
Here's the thing. If you're an Omaha fan, you can have two. I feel like there's two viewpoints of Omaha's running right now, and both are very valid. On the one hand, you haven't lost since the Open Cup. You have not lost a game, and I think it's been like 6 games. You haven't lost. Yeah. You had some tough matches going to Greenville and then immediately turning around and like 3 days later going to Madison, getting draws. Not bad. Totally understandable. So that's one way to look at it. On the other, you have all these games in hand, and you're not getting wins. You're only getting draws. And you've already got 8 draws this season. And I'm just saying, as a fan of a team who had all these games in hand and they turn into draws, they get really annoying. And you only have 2 wins in your last 6. You can't score. Like we said, I don't know where the goals are coming from. So Omaha, that button it's not as prominent as Richmond's. It's kind of more of it's there. It's on the kitchen counter.
Okay.
It's
so
there.
You got to see it when you got to go get another beer. Gotcha.
Like you're making dinner, it's there, and you like just acknowledge that it's there, and you don't want to like mess with it. It's not like a bad thing. Now, if they don't win against Chattanooga on Saturday, that button's getting a lot closer to J Mims's face, and I'm just saying, like, no, I don't think Omaha needs to press the panic button, but it's there. I'm saying it's there. I don't think they're safe.
I don't think anybody's. That's the thing. I think there are very few people, very few teams, maybe one that are safe right now. Safe.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's a very much a Richmond thing. Like, you have the potential. It's there. You just got to find someone to score.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that, you're jumping like leaps and bounds up the table. And
they conceded 12 goals all season. 12.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Like, that's crazy.
Defensively is the only reason why they are still in this, because the attack has been bad.
Abysmal.
Yeah.
It's been bad, and that, I think, is the problem. It'd be one thing. You can ride on the defense. I don't know who tweeted it. Someone tweeted it. It's like, you can't lose if you don't allow the other team to score, which is true, but you also can't win if you don't score.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I don't know if you've seen, but 30 points will not get you top of the league. Just 30 draws will not get you top of the league. So, that's not how that's going to work this year.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we've already put two teams into the who we sliding a button category. Let's fill out the rest. Definitely sliding a button to my team in CFC. Like, you clearly have the scoring talent. We've seen it. You've got the midfield. You just got to get that defense. So if that defense can't come together over these next couple of games, especially because we head out to Tucson, and we've got to get some points there, that button is just sitting right there. You can put that one next to the mouse. Like, it's just like a quick tap. Like, you're there. It's there. We're sliding you a button, but you don't have to push it just yet. But let a couple of more of these results come out where we're just like collapsing on defense, losing that lapse of judgment, and it might be time to push it once or twice. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's right there. It's damn close.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the teams that have the sliding a button, North Carolina is the closest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's just so crazy because you look at, North Carolina's offense, literally the most consistent offense in the league. Only one, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've scored in every single game they've played, right?
Yes.
So, even when their leading scorer, Garrett McLaughlin, is not scoring, someone's stepping up. And so the fact that someone is always stepping up and they still can't get wins has to be absolutely frustrating.
Yes.
You would know. Yeah. It's just, there is not another team like that in this league this year. I mean, like, there are plenty of incredibly talented teams, but not one has scored in every single game except for NTFC. And the fact that there are so many offensive weapons on this team consistently getting goals in the back of the net and still not getting wins, it's just, that's why that panic button is right there. It's just incredibly annoying.
Yeah, because I feel like what happens if for some reason North Carolina goes just even like 2 matches without scoring, then it's like, okay, that is the scary part.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If they're not scoring anymore, that's when everything starts to fall apart. That's where you see a 2021 part 2.
Yeah. Oof. That just triggered me. I don't know what just happened there. Let's move on. Another team we're sliding a button to. Chatta.
Nope. Not me.
No?
No.
You think they're
We'll
safe?
get to chat.
We'll
No,
get to
Chad is
Chatta.
hitting the button.
Oh,
Chad is
they're-
hitting the
Chad's hitting
button.
the
I'll
button.
explain more
Okay.
why later.
We'll talk about them.
You slid the button a couple weeks ago.
So then let's skip Chatta. Let's go to the other team we have down here, Fuego. I'm sliding them a button just because it's like we still don't. There's still so much like unknown, but like not in like the Charlotte unknown, like kind of the good unknown, which is weird. So we don't really know what they need, but we know that they probably could shore up a couple things to like really push themselves up into the playoff spots. For me, at least.
They have to be one of the most confusing teams for me. Like I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, they're going to be in 11th place. Like that's I straight up said. I said 10th place. I think they're going to be in 10th place. And like at the beginning of the season, they were getting all these wins. It's like, what the heck? Then obviously they didn't create anything at all. And I was like, okay, I think like things aren't going well, blah blah blah. But time and time again, they find these ridiculous ways to win games. Part of it is that they just have some really good individual players with just individual skill. Like you think about Sharif and, even Christian Chaney is really good. Victor Falck, and the list goes on. But they have a ton of really good individual moments. But like their defense is so good. I mean, at times their defense is really good. They drop into that low block really well, and it's really hard to break down sometimes. And then also you got Ant-Man. So,
Fuego reminds me of last year's North Texas, where it's like this team is not convincing me that they're good, but they have enough, kind of like what you said, Brandon. There's enough players where that can get them like a 5th or 6th seed. Like they can get a 5th or 6th seed because you're also just looking at the other teams. It's like, okay, Omaha's currently 6, but I still feel like Omaha is probably going to be a playoff team. It's just they're probably going to be that's going to be more of a 3-4, like 2 through 4 is where Omaha will land. And then the other teams in contention, you got Charlotte. That's not looking great. Chattanooga, who I've already told is hitting the button. NOCO is like up there, North Carolina. So like all these other teams. So it's like there's enough where I don't know if I can confidently say any of those teams below Fuego between Charlotte, Chattanooga, NOCO, and North Carolina. I can't say I confidently would put any of them ahead of Fuego. But I also don't know if Fuego's that good enough. So that's why I'm thinking they're going to be a 5th or 6th. And then it's like, okay, you'll get there, but it's because you have 3 or 4 players and Ant-Man. Like Ant-Man, you got Bielev, you got Falck, you got Chaney. That might be enough to get you to a playoff spot.
I can't believe I didn't mention BJ.
So, like Fuego's button is definitely in the. Where would I put Fuego's button? It's on the nightstand.
Yeah,
we went all over this house. Where is
that?
Is this a studio?
Where is Fuego? Are they in the living room, the kitchen? Where are we at here?
It's on the nightstand. Like, you don't know it's there until you actually start having a look at it. Like, you don't notice it until you go to bed, and then you give it like 5 seconds, you go to sleep. You're good.
Bro, is this a studio apartment? What are you in a double wide? What's happening here?
This is a 600-foot 1-bedroom apartment. All right.
Okay. Now
you are downtown. You are in downtown Fresno.
There we go. Okay. So I'm sliding Chatta a button, but Kyle is very much. He drove to Chattanooga to push the button for them. Like he presented it and pushed it. Like
with a plaque, right along with a plaque with the button. Right. Congratulations, here's your button.
With the falsified contract, it's right there.
Right.
It's right there.
I don't think they're that bad. I know they have some things to work on. But like, are they losing their touch? I mean, yeah, 3 losses out of 5, but
yeah, it's just ever since the thrashing of Charlotte, they lost at home to Tucson. They scrape out a win against Richmond. They lose again. No, wait, sorry. No, they.
No. Wait, no.
The schedule keeps like fucking up and changing on me. Anyway, point is, for a team that we were all thinking top 2, maybe 3 in Chattanooga, like a team that we had very high expectations for, and they are falling short of that. And the goal difference makes it look like things are okay, but it's really not. It's being inflated by scoring 7 goals against Charlotte.
And 4 against Northern Colorado.
Yeah, like there's some games like when they're on, they are on, and they look like the best team in the league when they are on their day. But we've only seen that so many times, and it's getting to the point where for a team with the high expectations, plus you have Obleda suspended for who knows what, it's starting to get a concerning side of it. It's like this is not a team that we are expecting to be scraping it, like battling for a playoff spot. So that's why I think they need to be hitting it, because like we are not where we should be. We are not where we think we should be. We are not where most people thought we would be. And that's why I'm hitting it for them, because you're doing you have all that and your coach is suspended and we don't know when he's coming back. And that might be a good thing, but we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they should have won, but the fact that they look like they should have won and all of that stuff off the field is happening, that's a decent sign, right? I think. The fact that you can, hold it together, I think that's okay. But man,
if it's still happening in like the next 2 or 3 games, then I'm like, yeah, go ahead and hit it. Like it's time. But like you said, they're overcoming a lot of stuff off the field to like still, it looks bad, but still get like a point here and there to like keep like, I don't want to say level, but keep pace with the teams around you.
Yeah, and they're just now getting a healthy defense too.
Right.
I mean,
make no mistake, when you wake up, there should be someone dangling that button like right in front of your face to go off of Kyle's analogy.
I've already hit it for them. Like it's an alarm at this rate.
He didn't even take it down there. He just hit it and he said, "Hey, I got this."
He FaceTimed them and was like, "Yo, I got this for you." Okay, bye.
That will make the Saturday's match between Omaha and Chattanooga interesting, because a loss probably puts both, like, for you two, it's like a loss probably puts the loser into maybe hitting it, while a win at least maybe not gets them to safe, but it's the bun's not as prominent.
All right.
I would say if Chattanooga wins and Omaha doesn't score, that'll be far worse than if Chattanooga loses like 3-2 or something like that. Because I mean, like if they can't score again against Chattanooga and lose, that's when Omaha has to start really, really asking some questions. Chattanooga is going to find a way to chaos their way into that 6th spot by the end of the season, probably.
Yeah, probably. All right, so since we're already there, who do we already have pushing it? We'll save Chatta. We already know Chatta. Like, we got them. But NoCo, I think they should be pushing it for this reason from Dave. They can't get rhythm. They can't learn a field, so they can't learn how it bounces for them at home to give them a home field advantage. So they can't do shit. Like, they're not winning on the road, so they're not doing it at home because they can't figure out what home means.
Because that's on the road.
Right. So shit, like
they're just playing 30 road games this year.
So at this point, it's just like, fuck it. You gotta hit something, and I guess it's the button.
Yeah. I mean, it's so confusing because they're again one of those teams that they have some of the most talented players in the league. Like, bar none, some of the most talented players in this league. But they have no ability to get any sort of consistency because of that very thing. Like, I mean, when they were playing at Colorado State, it took 2.5 games for them to understand how the ball, really interacted with that turf, just because it was so ridiculous. It was just it cruised across the turf, and so trying to understand how that interacted was insane. And then by the time they figured it out, by Colorado State, we're going off to a high school. It's just,
I I'm not hitting it for Noko just yet.
Really?
It's on the garage. It's on the garage door opener.
Oh my
Like,
god!
it's right there. Like, you have the garage door opener.
First of all, how are we affording a garage on a 600 square foot apartment? Never mind.
Have you seen house
What,
prices in Colorado? They're insane.
Someone's going to listen to this back and go, when did I turn into a finance?
Right. What is this, Zillow? This is a Zillow podcast.
Look, there's the apartment, and then you have the underground parking. That's part of your rent. You know, you have one spot. So if you're rooming with someone, you're SOL. But you get one spot. If someone else wants it, they're on the street. It's right there. It's right there. And the only reason why I'm not hitting it for them yet is
how much do you think
I don't know
make to be afforded an apartment and a garage, bro?
We don't know what the hell Noko is doing.
Oh, that's
okay.
Fair. But they're not hitting the button.
We don't know. Here's the thing: we don't know the money's coming from. We don't know who owns the team. We don't know who's in the front office. We don't know where what's going on with their stadium. Like, this could be a good old front, and I'm not challenging that right now. Like, I'm gonna put it right there for them. I'm not hitting it for them. They can hit it themselves, but I'm sliding it to them. What they will decide to do with it, be my guest. But it is next to the garage door opener.
Yeah. Well, and I think like I said, they have so many incredibly talented players like that they could totally turn this around. They finally have some sort of consistency playing in a high school for the rest of the season.
Exactly. At least now they have a plan for the rest of the year. We don't know where we're going to be. We don't know what's next. They know where they're going to be. That is something. And you're still trying to have players play in high altitude.
Yeah. We'll see next couple of games for sure.
Oh, I don't know how you're not hitting it for them. I don't get it. All right. Who should be hitting it? Tucson. Yeah, let's see.
Tucson already hit it.
Tucson
done hit it.
Yeah. They were done. They were over it. Charlotte. I don't know what this team is. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know what to say.
I would hit it for Charlotte just because they can't defend.
They've like 30.
Omaha can defend. Yeah,
it's literally the opposite. It's literally like Omaha.
Yeah,
like it makes no sense, but it's easy to teach someone to score. It's hard to make someone jump back in defense. So Charlotte got to figure it out. Like,
yeah. And that's like we talked about this before the show. Like when Corey Bennett, I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's an incredibly talented player, but he just cannot strike that ball in a way that's going to get it in the back of the net. That dude gets in it. I mean, he's just every other part of his game is fantastic. The problem is like because of that, the only other person who's like attacking is Trezor Mbuyu. Right now, like that's your main goal scoring output. And then when they played Noko just like said, okay, like fine, we'll just put 3 people around him and not let him carry the ball forward so that you cannot let him score. And he didn't. And so they lost. And they only scored because they had to take 17 penalties for the 1 penalty. So like if teams do that, like they haven't shown that they can do much else, right? Like
and like with Charlotte playing the way he is
like no.
Like he's not going to be there.
Charlotte
next
is Tottenham.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yes.
Tottenham. They got 2 dudes. They got like 2 dudes that can attack, and a whole lot of nothing else that makes you think, okay, they're going to be legit. They are Tottenham. Like the 2 players that they have are really good, and Mbuyu is really good. And when Ibarra has time, he is really good. And everyone else is just unreliable, unserious. Not like you don't have faith in these people. You don't have faith in them. Like, they're going to get to a big game. They're going to choke it out. They're going to choke it.
Ibarra and Buyu will not be there next season. So,
well, I mean, Ibarra was supposedly trying to get time with Charlotte anyways, the MLS side.
Right. So, I don't know why he's still here. They could definitely use him. Like, fuck. I don't know. I don't know. This is just.
For me, I at this point, I'm not gonna hit the panic button for him just because, again, like for some reason, no one except for Noko has figured out how to keep them from scoring. They've only scored like 25 goals, but I mean that's still one of the highest goal scoring records in the league. If they concede 17 more in the next couple of weeks, then whatever. But until somebody can finally stop Trezor for good, I can't hit the panic button just yet. I'm right there. No, like for real. Like no, this thing. Like if you were eating at your dinner table, this thing's on the plate. Like we just put it.
So they can afford a dinner table and a garage.
It's Charlotte. We're in Charlotte now.
Oh, yeah,
it's cheaper. No, so it's on the plate. It's on top of the food. Like we put it in the to-go box with their to-go food. So, but I wouldn't hit it just yet.
The only reason I'm hitting it
is on the keychain. It's on the keychain. Like it's just.
It's on the keychain. Okay.
You're gonna hit it whether you intentionally do it or not. It's on the keychain, and
you sit on it on accident, and it goes off. Right?
They should have already been pushing it. They should have already been pushing it after that crazy week of like, oh, we can't defend, so we're just gonna go try to outscore everyone, and then we get a lowly forward who's still henny drunk, and
exactly,
and we're like, fuck it, we don't give a shit. So they have all the pieces that, like, in that first half of the field, midfield and forward, solid. Defense is running on fumes and vibes. and there's just someday I guess Noko just needs to send a quick text message to everybody that goes, "Don't let Mbuyu score." And
that's the plan.
That's the
it.
And everyone's like, "No shit, we tried.
We've been doing that this whole season, trying."
So I don't know. Someone eventually is gonna be like, "Oh wait, did we get that text? It's still left on red. Oh damn!" And they're gonna figure it out, and then there we go. Boom. That's the end of their season. Like they're gonna be battling Noko to see who. Not Noko. They'll be battling Tucson to see who can hold up the end of the table. Like I don't know. Like
Tucson's panic button is basically the lock screen, and it's like you just gotta hit it to unlock.
You gotta hit it though. You gotta hit that button. You gotta hit it to unlock your phone.
Fuck it. Just hit it. Just
that's where I'm with Tucson.
Right there. All right. What do we got coming up this week? A whole lot of nothing. I've been looking at the schedule and it looks very boring. It's gonna be chaos because Charlotte's playing and we don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Against the other team.
Yeah. That could literally be everything that is the entire chaos.
And it's a Friday night, and the last time these two teams played in Charlotte on a Friday night, we had what we thought was the most chaotic game of the year in week 3.
Right.
I forgot. This is the exact same situation.
Same situation.
This is miserable.
This is gonna be great. Oh shit.
Why do I watch soccer? Oh my god.
So I think we found our chaos game. Is this our chaos game?
Yes.
Yes. Charlotte versus Central Valley.
I'm okay with that being the chaos game.
I want everyone to know that every time I do this thing where I make our chaos game of the week, I just erase the part that doesn't say Charlotte and then I just put in the other team. It's a template at this point.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. So that's the Friday night game. Friday Night Lights coming at you. Saturday.
Oh boy.
Saturday could also be chaos. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
And it's mainly because of one game. It's Greenville versus Georgia.
I hate that game.
I'm saying Omaha, Chattanooga.
Really? That's gonna be your chaos? That's chaos for you too?
It
Or
should
is that
be if they want. If anybody
It's
wants to
not
win
my-
that dang game,
It's not chaos for. I'm not making it my chaos game, but it is damn close, and it's only because you have two teams who need a win on a narrow ass baseball field, and both teams like being aggressive. It has all the ingredients to be chaotic. It would have been my chaos game of the week had it not been for the fact that I have a team in Charlotte that will not do anything to resemble a complete performance top to bottom.
yeah. If it doesn't become if it doesn't suddenly become the chaos game of the week, that just means that neither team did a good enough job to pull out the win, in my opinion.
It's like
Here's
we're
the thing.
going to choose Charlotte as our chaos, but we're hoping to be proven wrong by Omaha Chattanooga.
It's kind of like it's actually kind of like the unattentive boyfriend, where it's like it's clear, like the girlfriend is clearly Charlotte Fuego, but the other chick is Omaha Chattanooga. That's what I'm at.
Yeah,
like we're eyeing it up.
These analogies are just something else today.
Oh my gosh. I got to be honest. I'm willing to say this on camera. I don't care. I get so nervous for this Greenville Tormenta game. We play on the road. I'm fine. I would rather play Tormenta at Tormenta at this point. Like, it's so nerve-wracking. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the last time we beat Tormenta in Greenville. Talk about a curse. Like, talk about Richmond NCFC. It's the same exact thing. I think the last time was 2019 or 2020. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 2021. I'm not going to look right now, though.
My gut would tell me 2020 because I feel like Greenville just won almost every game in 2020, but there's only 16. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, I get so nervous. I mean, every single time something chaotic happens that causes Tormenta to draw or win at Greenville. So, I mean, obviously, like, I think we're the better team.
That's fair.
Partly because I'm biased and partly just because I think it's true.
No, I think you're the better team. Like,
so, yeah. But it's all, like, I never feel like in that game, that is like the Richmond to NCFC game for me. Like, I never feel confident going into that. And it's not even because of the players. It has nothing to do with our players. It's just like this weird curse.
I feel like this is one of those games where either Tormenta runs away and wins like 3-0, or it's like Greenville like 1-0. I feel like it's going to be either a very close Greenville win, but they keep the clean sheet, or Tormenta's just going to have like a goal blitz out of nowhere. Like, I think that's the thing. It's just weird because we've seen Tormenta score goals in bunches, but we've also seen them when they were up a man at home, incapable of scoring. And we saw that they had a stretch of not being able to score at home. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards Greenville.
Really?
Only because I feel more confident picking Greenville at home than I would Tormenta coming in. I think I'm just slightly leaning Greenville at home. I feel more confidence there.
Does Tormenta take the power of and the inspiration of their W League team winning a championship and go, you know what? We're going to carry that winning feeling all the way through?
I hope not. If you're listening, no, don't. Leave it at home. Keep it with the women's team. Let's get some U.S. women's national team energy here. Keep it with the women's team. Let's leave it there. Keep it in Statesboro, please.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking.
I don't think it's gonna be a 5-5, but I do think it's gonna be like 2-2. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah. And then we got Ford versus Noco.
See, that one I'm nervous, not because I don't think Ford Madison win, but because everyone else thinks Ford Madison can win. And after everyone was shitting on them, it was good having the confidence, like, no, they're fine. And now people are like, wait, maybe they're actually good. And now they're starting to be like, wait, we're gonna pick Ford Madison. I don't like that feeling right now. Like, all right,
No?
like
Okay.
too many people that would shit on them relentlessly are starting to get behind them, and I'm thinking there's some bad voodoo there.
It was gonna be my vibes.
Mainly the USL show. Like everyone in the USL show picked it. I'm like, hold up. Most of the time, this fails.
Yeah. Don't like that. Let's not.
That's too much confidence. I think
I believe in you.
Win. I think Ford Madison will win. It's going to be like a 3-1. But it's one of those where it's like. Plus, I wonder. I am going to be curious if they get past 4,700 for attendance.
It's going to be the vibes game. Just letting you know. Like it's going to be a smooth. It should be a smooth 2-0 or 3-1 Ford win. I just need y'all. I mean, all the other games are like everything can't be chaos because if everything's chaos, nothing's chaos. So
I was gonna have Tucson, North Carolina be my vibes game.
For who?
I'm just saying, both teams. You got North Carolina who can score at will. You got Tucson where when they decide to play well, they look competent. I think it could be entertaining.
And at this point, they're both just playing for fun. So,
wow.
I'm sorry.
Wait, you know what? I have veto power. I'm in charge.
I kid. Oh,
no, I would lean towards that being my vibes game. I feel like there's potential there.
Yeah. And what other game is there? There's we already talked a little bit about it. Omaha versus Chatta. It should be chaos for both teams, but it's gonna be 1-1 for the rest of us.
It's going to be absolute chaos or just another draw.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a draw, and I will hear that someone at Omaha has thrown a giant tantrum on Twitter. Omaha could win it. Chattanooga could win it. I don't know what the hell I'm going to expect after the Ford Madison game ends. Any possibility will not surprise me.
Yes.
There will be complaining. I just don't know from who or about what.
Yes.
And the last one, we touched on it a little bit, but it is Tucson versus NCFC out in the desert, out there, late night game, not watching it. Mainly because I have a lately Tucson, party.
I feel like I was going to say, I feel like Tucson have had a lot of matches lately that have had a weather delay, so, it's probably safe.
That's the problem.
I'm not doing it.
Isn't it? Is it monsoon season right now?
Shit! What the fuck?
I don't know. We can ask the kid. Ooh! There are 2 matches that will be Tuesday and Wednesday, so we will not have met up by time we can get to those as well. But I don't know. I feel like North Carolina Tucson is just gonna be like a fuck it, throw it on, and if you fall asleep, okay. If you want to stay up, that's not a bad thing.
Right. I think there are definitely be goals in this one because they're both conceding this year. I mean, I think it'd be fun to watch as far as from that perspective goes. But it'll probably end in like a 2-2 draw.
Why do you like hurting me? I don't get this. I thought we were friends. I don't get it.
Listen, I have been one of the biggest defenders of NCFC. This before the season started and even into it. And
that is true.
I don't think anybody that is not a fan has been a bigger defender of NCFC. And there's a joke I could make right there, and I'm not going to make it. But it's just, I think it's the mental collapses. That's the only thing that worries me. I don't think it's the ability level at all. Again, fantastic group of players. I just think it's the mental issues. until they can string together a complete performance, I can't. I'm gonna keep making the joke.
Yeah, I get it. It just hurts.
That's fair.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not directed at you at all.
Oh, I know. It's just, it hurts. It always hurts. Why do I watch soccer?
Don't worry, European soccer's right around the corner.
Oh, fun. Oh, great. So I can be hurt in the morning and at night on Saturdays. Okay, so just elongate the hurt.
Look, you got the courage. They can provide some goodness in your afternoon.
Where? Where, sir? Where?
I don't know. I feel like the courage don't. I feel like the courage can at least give you some hope.
We'll see. I'm just out here vibing in all these jerseys and tears. Okay, that is my. We'll see. Okay.
But the two other matches, so Tuesday, August 2nd, Richmond goes to NOCO.
Yee. Richmond's not doing too great on the road, so yee.
They're doing a lot better than last year, but I mean, not great, but not, yeah.
Just saying.
That one's going to be fun, I think.
That one's got loser hits panic button vibes as well.
Yeah, loser goes, well.
Which means there's definitely going to be a red card because that's already possible with this matchup.
Well, with Richmond lately, it's probably going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. You got Richmond and NOCO. And they have to win. Oh, there's a red card. At least one red card in this game.
Richmond is without two of their starting defenders. So let's go for it. Fuck it. And then the August 3rd game is Fuego versus Chatta.
Also high chaos possibility.
Also high chaos, but
it's not going to win chaos match of the week, but it has chaos vibes.
100%. Yeah, I don't think. I think Fuego kind of takes that one. Not gonna lie. We'll see.
That one's so hard to predict. I mean, because have they only played once?
Did they play twice?
Because I know they played at least once, and that was the one where that was either one.
They played twice.
It
was a 2-2 draw. Sorry, there was a 2-2 draw and then a 2-0 Chatter win.
Yeah, the win that was that was Calendra's first or second game back, and the dude like crushed it out there, and that's why he's been starting pretty much ever since. Yeah. But like you never know what to do with this game in general, just because both of these teams are so chaotic. Fuego is going to bore you to death and then score 3 goals on you. Just pass the ball around their back line for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, the ball's in the back of the net without you even realize what happened. And then Chattanooga, whatever they do. So interesting.
I'm just laughing at some of the early results of these polls, and some of y'all I have questions on. So far, for Richmond, we have 67% think they're safe, 20% are sliding the button, 13 are hitting it.
Wow.
No one is hitting the panic button in Omaha.
That tracks.
61% are sliding it, but no one's hitting it. Sorry, Ebony, no one thinks North Carolina is safe.
I don't think they're safe.
71% are hitting it right now.
Wow.
Rephrase it. It bounced back up just now. Poll refresh, 77% are hitting it.
Damn. It's not that bad.
Chattanooga, 57% are hitting it. 29% slide. Fuego, very high. 78% are sliding it. I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
NOCO, no one is feeling safe. 78% are sliding it.
Damn.
And Charlotte has 18% people think they're safe. Which I don't Guys, I don't know how we think NOCO.
Weed is not legal in Charlotte. Okay.
Well, I guess, and in fairness, and this isn't to make a joke, but I mean, I guess it depends on what you define as safe for the Independents at this point. Like, are you looking to win the title, or are you just trying to maybe scoot into a playoff spot? If you're just looking for sixth place, you ain't doing too bad right now.
All I'm saying is I can't watch this team and think it's safe at all. Like, I don't know where 17% of people are watching this team and be like, yeah, they're good. They're fine.
It went up. It's 18.2 now.
I hate y'all.
Someone else voted for it.
I hate y'all because I know you're just doing this to troll me now. And I'm going to wake up and
it's going to be like Charlotte safe.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I feel like Fuego's the only one where it's like that seems accurate. That adds up. I'm just really surprised Omaha doesn't have a single hitting it.
It does seem like I personally agree with that, but like it does seem very.
Oh,
odd.
I do too, but
right.
I'm just surprised.
Right, it's very odd that no one has said I'm hitting that button based off of Twitter.
All right, I just want to before we wrap all this craziness of a pod up because we haven't done this in a while. In between the 2 weeks that we have met, we have done some crazy interviews. Let's start with the Peter Moore interview from you two and from Yogi and from Chip. How was that?
It was awesome. Like, I mean, granted, I am a Liverpool fan, so the fact that I talked to the former CEO who oversaw the team at its peak is pretty awesome. But it's like, I think it's just kind of weird that he is now an owner of a USL League One team. Like, this is the biggest name. Like, the guy was in charge of EA. He was in charge of Xbox. He was in charge of Sega, Reebok. Like, this is like anyone with that pedigree. You would think that's someone that's going to go for an MLS team just based off of that background. So the fact that, and he was just so down to earth and it was just so chill. And it felt as though it was talking to someone that you wouldn't have guessed, like based on their background. Like he didn't have an ego. And I think that was really awesome. I think the fact that he seems to have a plan. He has a plan of what he wants to do. He wants to definitely tap into that Santa Barbara market. He wants that to be the go-to for anyone that lives in Santa Barbara, is to play for the Sky, whether it is someone that identifies as a male or female. And I think that's kind of important. Like, it's definitely going to have like that local feel as much as possible, obviously. And he even said it himself, like trying to build a homegrown team, like fully homegrown, is not going to be possible. But if they can still have a couple of those players, and I think that goes back to his Liverpool roots, where it's like with Liverpool FC, you want like those Scousers in your team. And I think he wants to do that as well with Santa Barbara's guys. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, the stadium, I think, is going to be the next thing I'm very curious about, because right now it's in a great location, but they are going to either do upgrades for the City College, or maybe they'll find a place to build a stadium. I don't know yet, but no, it was a very informative interview. I'm hoping I can get it uploaded tomorrow. I just need the audio file to not suck.
Oh, it's on YouTube, right?
It is on YouTube. Yes, it is on YouTube. You just can't watch it. You just can't listen to it on like your Apple Podcast or Spotify yet, but it is on YouTube.
Which we will change the next day.
So go watch it and then listen to it.
You should have watched it already because it's been out. You should have watched it
3 times by now.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. It looked awesome. Brandon, how was it for you?
I mean, that's just such an incredible thing. I was honestly so jealous that y'all got to do that. I mean,
I know you weren't there.
No, I'll live, but no, not a huge Liverpool supporter, but as a huge Xbox supporter. I thought that was fantastic. I do love that idea that, like that kind of local feel that they're trying to create. That's and obviously as a CEO of Liverpool, you kind of see that even though it's a huge club, they're still very much, overseas, just a very, community oriented vibe to soccer in general. And I really like the idea that, someone like Peter Moore, who probably, like you said, could have gone MLS, or I don't know if he has the money for it, but whatever.
He has a pedigree that he could have been a part of a group.
Right, exactly. And I love the idea of creating local teams that people can get behind, that feel very part of the community. And so I think it's really cool that he chose the USL, and I'm not sure if that's why he chose the USL or what. But yeah, I really like that, and so definitely go check it out if you haven't watched it yet. Make sure you watch it.
And then also earlier this week, I got to interview W League champion Tormenta player Aaron O'Hearn, with good friend Nubia from Shea Butter FC, part of the 2 Cents family. They were amazing. Both Aaron and Nubia were awesome. I appreciate Nubia for coming through and co-hosting with me. If you haven't seen their work, please check it out. 2 Cents, 2 Cents FC, 2centsfc.com, Shea Butter FC, Shea Butter FC podcast, all that jazz. They are a generational talent, and they are doing some really cool work in this scene. So it was really cool to have them on with me and talk W League and its growth. And Erin was awesome just to talk with me about like the game and what she saw in the game and her roots in Georgia and like what's next. So that was a real fun one, which will also be out tomorrow for the fam on all of your listening devices plus YouTube. So
yeah, I wanted Aurora to win, but it is good that if Aurora couldn't win, then Tormenta winning was perfectly fine as well. So I'm very excited to see how that interview goes. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it, because when you first mentioned like, oh yeah, we're gonna be able to do this, like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to make it, because I think that was the same night as the Ford Madison game. I was like, maybe I should have done the interview. Maybe I could have done the interview and not missed anything.
No, that's a big shout to Chip. He definitely helped set that up, so I appreciate Chip.
Same with Peter Moore. So thank you, Chip.
Yeah,
he's setting these things up like crazy.
He's moving in these streets, and it's great. It's awesome to just have him a part of the team. And sucks he couldn't be on tonight.
He had a good reason though.
He had good reasons. Yeah. But that does end this wonderful hour-and-a-half long podcast that we do every 2 weeks. Is there anything? I was about to say anything you guys working on? Like I'm about to fucking interview again. You know where to find Brandon. You know where to find Kyle. You know where to follow the show, Walking 90 Pod. Special thanks to the 2 Cents fam, L, Ty, For the Culture, Shea Butter, Can I Kick It, Dreaming of Freedom podcast, all the homies. I appreciate all of you supporting. USL League One review for Brandon and all of his stats and everything that we do to make this show possible. That's it from us. I appreciate you all. Tell the people later. Deuces.
Bye. Oh, wait. Shout out to Benny. I got my Puma shirt on today. So,
oh, my God.
Shout to Benny.
Later.
She just left.
It's still going.
Yeah, we're still in this podcast.
Get back here. Oh, Christ. I was just about to say that. I didn't get to watch the Pumas friendly, and I'm